Hi there. We're going to be making a whistle, and to do that we're going to need there. This is how we're going to be making the whistle. We're going to be getting the wood that's back here on this table. It's 1 and 1/4 by 1 and 1/4. We're going to be making a whistle out of it. So take it to the workbench, and all the instructions for the whistle are located up here. All right. So all I'm doing is following these instructions right now, and then orienting you to where things are. So let's go and start the project. All right, we're going to start by cutting this to 5 inches long. Oh, here's a block that was already in there. All right, now that we have it cut, we're ready to flatten this off with sandpaper. Now, let's head over to the combination sander. Okay, this is the combination sander. You're going to be using this to flatten the end of your whistle and make it nice and straight. Now, before you use it, you have to copy down all these safety points here and hand them in. You need to have your name on it, and you need to have the date on it. All right? Same thing we did for the drill press. The way you operate this is you hold it flat on the table, keep your fingers away from the belt, you turn it on down here. Once you have it sanded here, then you're ready for the drill press. However, one of the points here is call the teacher if the belt is not tracking straight. If you notice this belt wandering side to side like this, you're going to need to get help from the teacher to adjust this knob to get the tracking back in the middle. Okay, so you'll shut it off. If you notice it moving, shut it off really quickly. Here's what it looks like when it's moving. You see it going? Oh, it's got to get brought back. It's got to get balanced there. Has to be balanced. Okay? Now we're going to head over to the drill press, which is right here. This one's set up for making the whistle. And this is similar to drilling out what we did for the pencil holder. You take your whistle blank, set it in here. Make sure it's nice and tight up against this block of wood right here. And then you're able to put the plunger forward, and we're now ready to drill. In and out, just like on the other one. In, out. In, out. In, out. And you go until you get to the bottom, until it bottoms out.
You're done?
I'm going to show you guys how to cut this little notch right now. Now the instructions are all up on that board, so if you're lost, then just watch now and reference the board later. So start by labeling one side as the top. That'll help you stay oriented on your piece of wood here. Then you're going to measure from the front, where the hole is, back 1/2 inch and 1 1/4 inch. So you're going to hook on, measure back 1/2 inch and 1 1/4 inch. We'll make those lines go across here. I did that by hand, but you can use a square to help them stay nice and straight. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is down around the front where the hole is. We're going to drop down from the top straight around, and we need to make a line parallel to these lines across the front. That's 1/4 of the way across the hole. It's not 1/4 inch, it's not 1/4 of a pizza, nothing like that. 1/4 of the way across the hole. So here's one side of the hole, here's the other side. That's halfway. And 1/4 of the way is half of that again back this way. So we're talking just down from the top here, 1/4 of the way across, making a mark there. We're going to transfer that line all the way down the sides, both sides here. All right, so that's what you should look like right now. Then we're going to take our first mark and make a straight line down to our side line that we just made here. Once we've done that, we want to connect this spot up to that spot there, our back line. We're going to make a little triangle. So to do that, use a straight edge, line it up here, and draw it. Now it's ready. We're ready to cut this. We're going to start by cutting this first one down to our line. Carefully down to our line, right there. You want to stop. Now we're going to make this angled, long angled cut. But it's kind of awkward to cut like this. It's very hard to keep it straight. So we're going to make a little notch here. Just a short little notch, something to keep our saw lined up. And instead of tilting my saw over, I'm going to tilt the whistle over. And now I can cut straight down. There we go. I want to remove that little piece. Okay, you can pause. Okay, the next step says to take some of this 3/4 inch doweling and cut a piece 1 inch long. Now this doweling is going to be sitting over there on this shelf underneath the blackboard. So you're going to measure it 1 inch, and I know what 1 inch is, so I'm just going to eyeball it. Actually, that's more like that. And you're going to clamp it in the vise here and cut it. Okay, once you have your piece cut, you're going to take a rasp from the back here. That's one of these files that has fairly aggressive teeth on it. Or actually, this is not a rasp, this is a file still, but it's a fairly rough file. And you're going to place your 1 inch piece that you cut into the vise. So it's sticking up just a little bit, like that. Then you're going to file it down. You're going to go about 1/4 of the way across the dowel. You want to make a little flat spot. What you do then is you're going to slide it into the end of your whistle and test your whistle out. You're going to slide it up till it's about the inside of this cut here, and you're going to test by blowing in the hole that's at the end. Once it works, then you know that you can glue it. In order to glue it, you're going to get this super glue from the top drawer of the desk here. And you're going to do just what it says on the instructions. Let's see if I can get this thing to work. You're going to take the glue and you're going to open it up, take the cap off, and if the hole is clogged there, make sure you open it up with like a nail or something. Then you're going to put a couple of drops, it does take a little while to come out, a couple of drops here at the bottom. You're going to take your piece you made, spin it to spread the glue around, and then get it lined up with where you want it to go. Right there, flat on the top, and then don't touch it. It's important not to disturb the bond because you can lose the bond. If you now try to twist this, you'll probably end up, it won't work. After you've let that sit for at least 10 minutes, you've got it glued on here. Then you want, okay, so you've got your little piece glued in there. We're going to be using the scroll saws now to cut that off. There are 4 scroll saws at the back of the class for cutting that off. I'm going to show you how to use it in a minute, but we're going over the safety rules first. You've got to copy this sheet down, same as we've done for the other tools. Eye protection, remove jewelry, eliminate loose clothing, same as the other tools. Ensure the pressure foot is resting on the wood. What that means is right here is a small pressure foot, and that has to be very close to the wood so that it can't rattle around in there. Alright, to adjust it, there's a little dial, thumb screw right here. You loosen it and you can move this up and down until it's at the right height so that it's just barely touching the wood. Right there is perfect. Perfect fit right there. Okay? Cut slowly, guiding the wood with your thumbs and fingers. Keep hands a safe distance from the blade, never directly in front. For obvious reasons, you don't want to be pushing on here when you're doing your cut. You do not want your finger to make contact with this blade ever. It's a very skinny little blade and it can break pretty easily. To turn this on, there's a button up here. Okay. Sometimes you turn it on and it doesn't want to go. Usually it just needs a little bit of help. So you just give it a bit of a push and it'll start up again. That's when it stops just the wrong spot. Usually it'll start up no problem. What we do, we turn it on. There's a dial back here. If you don't like how fast it's going, you can slow it down. And you can speed it up with this dial. Now, hold the wood firmly and you're going to be move the light so you can see it. Cutting off that little piece. Alright, the next step is to cut a little curve right on the bottom here. Make sure you look at the instructions. That makes it look more like a whistle. Once you've got that, it's time to sand it on the sander to get rid of all the pencil lines. You can maybe round over the corners a little bit. Clean up the front. There, now you've sanded off all your pencil lines and it's pretty good to go. Now all you do is you go to the wood burners and wood burn the design on there, and that's the end of the whistle.